Welcome to Token Topics. I hope everyone out there is doing great. Stellar XLM is the topic of this video. It's been a while since I made an XLM video, so we're going to go over what's been going on lately with the Stellar community. I'm also going to go over some interesting facts on Stellar XLM protocol and more. I also have a DCENT wallet announcement. You're definitely not going to want to miss this video. Please hit the like and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Invest at your own risk. I do not advise when to buy, sell, or trade. I am a digital asset enthusiast documenting my journey, so let's go ahead and dive in. I have a special DCENT wallet announcement. DCENT wallet joins forces with Unstoppable Domains to support all domain extensions. This is incredible news. In 2020, DCENT wallet was the very first hardware wallet to integrate multi-coin domain name resolution function. Now, since then, we've integrated various decentralized name services available on multiple blockchain networks, and Unstoppable Domains, UD, is our latest addition. DCENT wallet users now have a stress-free way to receive and send their funds using the UD extensions, which include .crypto, .bitcoin, .nft, .x, .wallet, .blockchain, .dao, .888, .coin, and .zil. So what that means is making cryptocurrency payments on DCENT wallet has never been easier. Using the domain name services such as the UD drastically simplifies user interactions and significantly enhances the user experience. A domain name resolution clearly identifies the destination or the recipient. This removes the risk of human error of sending funds to the wrong address. Now, what is an unstoppable domain, you might ask? Unstoppable domains are a type of domain that uses a blockchain technology to manage data registration, and it can also be minted as an NFT token. Having a domain name allows the owner to send and receive a variety of cryptocurrencies using a human-friendly address, which helps to prevent the mistake of sending funds to the wrong address. Other benefits of using an unstoppable domain are: 1. It simplifies crypto transactions by replacing your complicated wallet address with your simple domain name as your username. 2. You can use your domain to receive up to 275 plus coins and tokens across multiple blockchain networks. 3. You can log into apps with your domain name as your universal Web3 username. And 4. Unlike traditional domains, fully own and control your domain. You buy it once and you own it for life. It's that simple. And 5, you can easily create and host websites ranging from personal websites to NFT galleries and more. For more information, you can visit unstoppabledomains.com. I'll put the link in the description below. That is definitely good news. I also have another announcement. Since we're so close to the end of the month and July 1st is right around the corner, you don't want to miss out on a great deal on a DCENT biometric wallet. Time is running out. Before I begin, remember that time is running out to buy a DCENT biometric wallet at an incredible price. Starting July 1st, unfortunately, prices will be going up due to inflation and other reasons. I'm going to put the affiliate links in the description below. First topic, Elon Musk isn't just warning of a US recession, he's using the simple PPP strategy to weather it. Now, somebody asks, well, what is a PPP? It's predict, prepare, and preserve. Elon Musk has been adamant that a recession is inevitable and near, as many others from Bill Gates to Jamie Dimon have suggested. While others spin their wheels, Musk and his fellow luminaries are preparing for what's to come. In doing so, they are gaining the traction that they need to forge on through the incoming economic storm and come out on the other side unweathered. Now, if you've been subscribed to the channel, you know that I've been talking about a crash, a recession, a depression, and a lot of people that have been studying all these different types of markets are all saying the same thing. I'm sure you've heard also about the craziness that's going on with Celsius right now, about bankruptcy. Also, there's craziness with Tether. They could be exposed. Question is, do you have a plan in place? Now, I believe that personally adding XLM to the portfolio is definitely a good idea. I think it's also a good idea to have some cash on the side in case we have a market crash. But definitely having XLM already in your portfolio is brilliant. The reason why is because it's ISO 20022 compliant token. We know that in November, they're going to be implementing the ISO 20022 standard, which means utilization of those tokens will most likely occur. We can't forget that XLM is going to be a major standard in this new financial system, and they're already partnered with MoneyGram, Wyre. Incredible partnership with MoneyGram. You don't even need a bank. Now you can cash out, convert into USDC, cash out at a local MoneyGram. Incredible. Not to mention they have a partnership with IBM WorldWire for transnational payments. Incredible. There's one partnership I have not talked about a whole lot. I've talked about a little in the past, but their collaboration working together with Leaf Global. Now let's get a better understanding of what Leaf Global is, especially for newcomers, and let's hear some words from the Chief Technology Officer herself. We know that wallets are one of Stellar's most effective applications, and for good reasons, leveraging the ability to exchange stablecoins quickly via on and off ramps, low transaction fees, and high speeds. Wallets make cross-border payments and remittances more accessible than ever. Now, they are based in Africa, East Africa, and was built specifically for people with cross-border financial needs.
Into Stellar, or when did you first learn about Stellar?
So I was not on board with doing a blockchain-based product of any kind at the beginning. It was all my co-founder, Nat, who came and said, well, why don't we do blockchain? And I'm not a bandwagon person. I've gone through a few different hype cycles of, the next new big technology and seen how that works out when people just rush to a specific technology without understanding the specifics of it and why it needs to be there. So my initial answer was no to all blockchains. And then as I started researching, I found that this actually could be a really good use case, but not for the umbrella term of blockchain. And so we did originally look at Ethereum and had somebody build a bit of a prototype for that, and it just wasn't the right technical fit. It was too slow, it was too expensive, and at the moment when someone is leaving their country with all of the cash that they have put into your digital product, that is not the time to introduce a new currency or tell them to wait 10 minutes to an hour to know if their transaction has gone through. So we actually, we started this in grad school. We had a team of students that was helping us with market research. And one of the guys who was helping us out was presenting at this conference in Mexico. And afterwards, Californian guy came up to him and was like, hey, have you heard of Stellar? I think it'd be a really good fit for what you're doing. So totally random, but very thankful.
Pretty awesome. If you want to learn more about Leaf Global, I'm going to put the link to the website down below. All right. Now, another major part of the Stellar ecosystem is Wyre. Back in January, announced an integration into the Stellar network. So back in January, Wyre announced that they are going to be working with Stellar Anchor to provide closer integrations within the Latin American cryptocurrency infrastructure. Wyre allows powerful APIs to connect your app or business to the blockchain. Let's hear some words from the co-founder of Wyre.
What distinguishes Stellar from other blockchains is its interoperability and unique network of anchors. Wyre is the leading payment infrastructure for crypto developers. If you're looking to bridge the gap between fiat worlds and the crypto worlds, we have APIs that enable developers to build incredible products into both worlds. If you want to go into acting, you go to LA. If you want to go into finance, you go to New York. If you want to start a company, you come to SF. And it's an incredible place to be. San Francisco is an incredible breeding ground for talent and developers, and there's a lot of innovation that comes out of San Francisco naturally. It was a perfect place to start the company, find like-minded people to build this organization. We've been in the crypto ecosystem since day one, very, very passionate about this ecosystem and lowering barriers to entry and getting people into this new finance system. It's not an easy space to work in, so passion has to drive it. A lot of our developers were having a hard time sending money abroad, building applications to pay their local employees, build remittance applications, and it was very challenging to actually build into the new protocol. So simply put, if I'm making a $40 transfer and I'm paying a $40 fee, it's impossible to actually build on top of that as a merchant and as a business or a developer. We had all these issues with developers and merchants trying to build on top of Wyre, and USDC on Stellar was a perfect answer for that.
USDC on Stellar is a stablecoin that allows customers to get into the decentralized crypto community while doing so with a token or asset that is pegged to the dollar. Wyre chose Stellar because of its reliability as a network and the speed and low cost. Becoming a USDC anchor on Stellar was a no-brainer for Wyre. Anchors set up infrastructure that allows businesses to move money in and out of their applications, and they do so by following the best practices set forth by Stellar's ecosystem proposals, also known as SIPs. Now, when Wyre takes a payment in via fiat, whether it's by a bank card or bank transfer, Wyre can convert those funds into USDC on Stellar and move those funds to a Stellar-powered wallet, and conversely to receive funds from Stellar-powered wallets into our platform and able to off-ramp those funds.
We've seen extraordinary growth on USDC on Stellar. In the past year, we've seen transaction volume grow nearly 700% year over year, and the number of transactions more than 80% year over year. The thing that we're most pumped about as a whole is that we have now over 20 partners leveraging this technology using Wyre. We want to make it as easy as possible for people to build crypto businesses, and this really enables that vision to come alive. A lot of the headaches of what we take care of for a lot of the developers and merchants that come to Wyre is the whole compliance regulatory stack. And that's the beautiful thing about leveraging an anchored ecosystem, is that these anchors like Wyre are doing the hard miles to make it super simple for people to build on a very compliant and regulatory framework. I'm really looking forward to a lot of these new developers that are coming in and really choosing Stellar as a protocol to build on top of. We are the easiest place where people can come to and really build out their dreams.
All right, next topic. Nium Global and SDF announced a few days ago a new partnership to enable cash payouts for businesses in 190 countries. Companies can leverage this integration to accelerate the receipt of funds, reduce settlement risk, and remove pre-funding requirements. There you go, that pre-funding, that nostro vostro. So it's not just Ripple that's focused on eliminating them. That's why I've been stating that if you combine this whole new financial system together, they're going to eliminate those nostro vostro accounts. I'll go over some interesting information here. So by launching an API connection that conforms to Stellar's interoperability standards, Nium will be able to provide clients on the Stellar network with a suite of payment services. Nium offers enhanced real-time payment capabilities. With Nium, businesses are not required to build their own payment infrastructure. Instead, they can simply build their brand on top of an existing platform. That's awesome. And leverage Nium's regulatory licenses and authorization in over 40 countries. So if you've been subscribed, I've been talking about how large this financial system is. And if you think about all the people, all the countries, all the borders, all these different currencies, it's incredible how large the world is. To get everybody on the same page is not an easy task. So to enable the integration on top of their existing systems is going to speed up the process and make it a lot easier and more comfortable for these institutions and these people to get on board. So topic. Now let's hear some words from Candace Kelly on how decentralization can build trust, empower users through ownership, and be stable.
Go back to you, Candace. So, we see what is happening in Europe. There is the exploration of these new solutions, even by central banks. Would this work also for the places where you work, where you see there's a gap? Do you think there could be replication of these kind of technologies towards places you mentioned, Argentina or Africa?
Absolutely. And with respect to CBDCs, the Stellar Development Foundation is working closely with a number of different central banks. And again, just like our other solutions that we see in the ecosystem, every country is dealing with different challenges that they are trying to solve for. And so with CBDC, for one, if you have a central bank that may not have the trust of the people, if they're issuing a CBDC on a blockchain, that's an immutable ledger. You can't mess with that. You can't change, it exists or it doesn't exist. Same with the identity question, right? If you have an identity that's on an immutable ledger and can't be changed, then it just heightens the trust, which is essential. And so whether or not you're trusting peer-to-peer, individuals to individuals, or it's an individual and the bank, or frankly the bank trusting individuals, because one of the reasons why there are 1.7 billion people in the world who are unbanked, some of them are unbanked because...
You say that again, 1.7 billion
people.
That's what percentage? That's what, a fifth of the population?
I don't know the percentage.
It's like about, who knows how many people? It's about 7 billion people in the world. 1.7 don't have access to financial services, and that could be their solution.
Yes, and I
Potentially.
think, yes, and so we focus on that and trying to figure out, but one of the reasons, there are a number of different reasons. Some people don't have access to a bank physically. Some people, their gender inequality. Some people, though, have been de-risked because there is such a concern in the banking
their credit
industry.
history would not allow them.
Exactly.
Which is more of a North American phenomenon, I would assume, or not necessarily?
I think it exists in other parts of the world as well. I think particularly post 9/11, I was a national security prosecutor for 17 years in not national security the whole 17. I started on smaller things, but it's a very serious, and I take it very seriously. But if you can build an identity and you can build information about individuals through NFTs or through an immutable ledger, maybe we can start to close that divide.
The word trust comes up, and it came up in the previous panel as well. And what I find interesting is that at least cryptocurrency, and I mentioned it in the previous panel as well, came out of people who distrusted the system and felt like the system failed them, even in the developed world post the financial crisis, saying banks didn't do their jobs, governments didn't do their jobs, we can do it better. What I find fascinating here is that we had somebody from the government of Estonia and now a national bank. So governments are kind of adapting to the new technology, and if I understand the solution that you are presenting as a potential one, you would not decentralize your mandate to the people, but you would decentralize the technology, which would create more trust in places where you say... So in other words, in the developed world, it would be the trust in the institutions might be there, but the technology would be more trustworthy. And you're saying in the global south, where we don't actually have trustworthy services, this could come in maybe from other parts of the world to provide people with solutions that would allow them to also have access to financial services?
Yes, I think that there are a lot of different permutations of how the technology itself can help to close the trust divide, and it could be between banks and citizens. It could be that there are certain places where citizens want to be able to interact directly with each other, and it provides that optionality. And so I think we're very focused on making sure that solutions are interoperable, and so it's not that we're switching from one system to another, but we're adding more options to meet people where they are and address their specific needs and particularly their concerns with respect to trust.
Pretty awesome. Now, I know a lot of us are not happy with central banks. I'm, in particular, not too happy with central banks. But I know that there has to be a transition. Now, I've even heard some people even say that these tokens are actually like a Trojan horse. Basically, because the world needs to have a transition. As I stated in my previous video, it was actually an XRP video, I stated and I explained to people that not everybody's ready for such a crazy leap. We still have to have, even though we hate some of these banks, especially the central banks, right? Banks aren't bad, it's really the central banks that have given us issues tied to the Federal Reserve. We know, those who know about the trouble it is in the world. But you have to have some kind of transition. The world would be in too much shock if all the banks just died. You have to have a transition. It's got to be a smooth transition. These financial institutions rely on banks. That would actually cause more damage to just make the banks go away. But here's the thing, especially about like the Swiss system and the bank system. Once people understand that they can custody these assets themselves, they don't even need a bank. They're going to start to wake up. I'm talking 5 to 10 years in the future. Could this be the ultimate Trojan horse? You'd still need something to hold that value, that money though. That's where I see the assets such as XLM, XRP, XDC holding that value. People are going to realize that I don't need a bank. It's going to take years. Like I said, there's a lot of people in this world, they're not ready for such a drastic change. But once they catch on, what's the point of a bank? Once they realize they can just hold it themselves. That's just food for thought. Go ahead and put your comments and thoughts down below. I always love to read them. What are your thoughts about the central banks? What do you think about the CBDCs? What do you think about all that? Next topic. This was tweeted out from Sam, and last week that we had a great opportunity to host an amazing team of Stellar Development Foundation in Spain. In Madrid, we had a very productive meeting with the Banco de España, in which Stellar was able to explain to the regulators its work with the central bank digital currencies and stablecoins. Thanks PwC España for helping to organize this. And if somebody is wondering, well, what is PwC? PricewaterhouseCoopers is an international professional service brand of firms operating as partnerships under the PwC brand, and they also work on sustainability projects. Well, that's all I have for the video. Go ahead and put your thoughts and comments down below. I always love reading them. I want to say thank you everyone for watching another edition of Token Topics. You be safe out there.